You thought that Book of Moon coming to Duel Links was absolutely insane. Even more insane is Mystical Space Typhoon. Does MST negate? What's the top tier impact? What decks become better? What decks get worse as it counters them? What's a better card, MST versus Cosmic Cyclone? Why should I care about MST? Well, I asked the chat, does MST negate? Yes, of course it negates. Don't be a fool!
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at him. Let's go.
Gods Unchained is a new free-to-play card game currently in open beta, available for everyone. Its first season just launched, Trial of the Gods. Unlike other card games, you actually have true ownership over the cards you earn online, meaning you could trade and sell them for real money. Gods Unchained is play to earn, which means you could unlock cards through playing the game for free, which you then sell the cards on the marketplace for real money. That's right, you're being paid to play. Gods Unchained is directed by the former game director of Magic Arena, Chris Clay. So you know the devs have experience with card games. So what are you waiting for? Help support the channel by downloading Gods Unchained from my description below and start making money. Where is MST coming from? It's coming from the Antonomic Theory box. MST will be an ultra rare in a main box. Sorry if that upsets you, but it's not from a selection box like Book of Moon. That's a big step up. Why should you care? Why should I care about MST? Well, from my own experience, it's been the go-to back row removal for nearly every different meta that I played in. I played up until 2014. Now, Cosmic Cyclone did not exist when I played in the TCG. This is a newer card. So MST was the go-to alongside Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm, are we ready for Heavy Storm? Is that going to be an even bigger video than this? Maybe it will never even come out because Heavy Storm is absolutely nuts. It will destroy all spell and traps in the field, including your own. Imagine Cyber Dragons with this wiping out everything, then one turn kill. But we're going to have to settle with MST for now. And let's look into the impact. Is MST still good in the TCG? Well, MST usage fell off in, I guess, around 2017. People stopped using it. Before then, see, 2014, that's when I was playing. It was huge. And even before then. Let's look at Cosmic Cyclone. Is that good in the TCG? Well, if you see the chart, see it goes up to 200. For MST, it was 500, so do make sure you look at the scale. It does seem like it's a bit more relevant than MST, but that has also seemingly fell off. Why did it fall off? Well, I believe it's too difficult to compare both in TCG, as it looks like both cards are not being used. Twitch chat says because Twin Twister replaced their use. Twin Twister, discard a card, pop 2 cards in the fields. Okay, maybe that's better than MST and Cosmic Cyclone, and we'll get hyped for this card. But the big question and why you're here, does MST negate? Yes and no. What will it negate? Field spells. Negated. Here are popular ones. Continuous spells. Popular. Negated. Continuous traps. Negate, 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 and negate. Equip cards. Negate their effects. Negate, negate. Get out of here. What will it not negate? Normal spells. Here are popular normal spells. It will not negate. It will not negate normal traps. These are popular ones. It's also not going to negate quick play spells, which if you want to quickly check out what are some popular quick play spells on the website, whenever you want, you can go to the magnifying glass, click by popularity. We'll type in quick play. We'll take off Heavy Storm. These are the most popular, successful quick play spells that will not be negated by MST. The explanation is continuous spell and trap cards must remain face up to resolve with their effect properly. Normal spells / traps do not. So in terms of negating, it's just like Cosmic Cyclone. Whatever Cosmic Cyclone was negating and preventing, Mystical Space Typhoon is going to essentially be the same thing in terms of negating. So what is the top tier impact of Mystical Space Typhoon? Let's investigate. Noble Knights can use it. They could use some help because balance got nerfed. Now we need some big help for Noble Knights. You can Mystical Space Typhoon your own equip cards. They activate after being destroyed to re-equip onto the same Noble Knight or a different Noble Knight. What's a combo? Well, Dristin, plus a Destiny, plus a Mystical Space Typhoon. You could pop your Destiny equipped onto the Dristin. It will reactivate onto the Dristin. The Dristin will then pop a face-up card in the field. Very good. Now, with Gallatin, you can attack with the 1000 attack boost. Boom. Then, you can Mystical Space Typhoon your own Gallatin. The 1000 attack boost gets transferred to another Noble Knight so that you could take out another big monster or just attack directly with it. So MST's got some use if used against your own cards. Now, any old or newer deck that has a limit to 3 can play MST instead of Cosmic Cyclone. So this is a top tier impact. If we're looking at top tier decks that have a limit to 3, what's a good example? Invoked Neos is a deck that I'm not sure if it's even top tier right now, but I think it's teetering between top tier and not top tier. But because Invoker is limited to 3, and so is Invocation, they can't even play Cosmic Cyclone, really. So they could play Mystical Space Typhoon instead. So what are other non-top tier impacts? And yes, this is kind of the only top tier impact of Mystical Space Typhoon itself, but we will be investigating further, all right? This is just Mystical Space Typhoon helping a top tier deck, not countering. We'll look into that. So other non-top tier combos and plays will be Gear Town, Fortress. You quick play pop your own Gear Town to special summon a reactor. You could do it in the battle phase. You could do it on your opponent's turn. 3000 attack, 3000 defense. Your opponent cannot activate anything when attacking with the reactor dragon. That's quite nuts. No longer will you be dependent on a double Cyclone to perform what's kind of the same play. Because there's a lot of decks that don't have back row set or they don't have them set at the right moment for when you want to double Cyclone. Invoked Neos, as we were just talking about, because of the limit to 3, you could play Mystical Space Typhoon, but not the Cosmic. Shiranui, limited 3. You're going to play Mystical Space Typhoon over Cosmic, unless you have room for at least one Cosmic. I've seen some decks do it. Cyber Dragon. They want to destroy their own cards. You could pop your own Overflow, pop your own Abyss Scorn. Abyss Scorn will send a monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. The Overflow will search for a Cyber Dragon spell or trap. So MST against your opponent and your own cards, kind of like Noble Knights. Very good. Now what about Dark Magician? The Dark Magician navigation is limited to 3. So you can't really play Cosmic Cyclone. Now you can play MST. Fire Kings. Battling Boxer Veil limited to 3. Time to play MST. What are the top tier counters though? So we looked at some decks that could benefit from MST, like Noble Knights and the other decks. Now, what are the counters? Cosmic Cyclone tries to banish one of your cards. So you could prevent the banish of Cosmic Cyclone by MSTing the card they're trying to banish, by chaining your MST. So for example, you don't want your Contact, your Sanctified Dark Lord, nor your Invocation to be banished. You're going to Mystical Space Typhoon it if they Cosmic Cyclone it, definitely. Oh, Dkayed, why wouldn't you just MST right away? Well, what could happen is you have the Sanctified Dark Lord set, or they could have multiple back rows set, and you don't know which one to MST. You wait for them to Cosmic, then you do it. So that could be good. Now, MST in general is going to be good against Necro Valley, counter this nonsense. It's going to be used against Valhalla, Black Whirlwind. You're going to be stopping Head Judging, Fiendish Chain, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and the Light Imprisoning Mirror. Just stop these cards. And just in general, any back row. So let's look at the popular quick play spells and the popular traps in the meta. I know you could use Cosmic Cyclone, but This is if you're using MST, what cards we want to counter. So we're going to look at separately. First, we'll look at traps. These are the popular traps that you'll generally just be MSTing, just as you would Cosmic Cyclone. We will compare to Cosmic Cyclone, which is better. Now let's look at the popular quick play cards if they are set, if you want to hit those cards. Now, we already looked at the popular continuous cards that you can negate. These are just cards you're going to MST. If they're set, pop them in the back row. There you go. So moving on, MST versus Cosmic Cyclone, which is better? Well, here are the downsides of Cosmic Cyclone. You lose 1,000 life, Keck W. It's limited to 3. It also does not have the upside of MST, where destroying your own cards could trigger their effects. Also, if you use Cosmic Cyclone on an opponent's Treacherous, they can now use another Treacherous. That's a downside. MST don't have to worry about that. You're going to put that Tretch in the grave, so it will not be activatable, the other one. And Lancia plus Chaos Hunter, they could counter Cosmic Cyclone. You may think that this is super rare or crazy. I promise you in tournaments, the opponent Cosmic Cyclones, you chain Lancia from the hand, it stops it, you won't stop the MST. It's not that popular or common right now, though. Now, what are the MST top tier downsides? Downsides to MST. I'm sure you're going to have many examples. I think we're going to have some honorable mentions because there are many. But let's look. Super Team Buddy Force Unite. You MST this, it replays itself from the deck. But a good thing is, it looks like Desperado, due to the ban list, may not be top tier anymore. So goodbye to that downside. All of the Noble Arm equips. But Dkayed, you said MST is good with Noble Knights. Yeah, it's good if you're played with Noble Knights. And because it's good with Noble Knights, it's also not good against Noble Knights because it's good for them. If you MST their equip cards, they re-equip. You'd rather Cosmic Cyclone them. So if you're playing Noble Knights, you like MST. If you're playing against Noble Knights, you're not going to like using MST against it. So, moving on. The Noble Knight Trap. Again, you want to Cosmic Cyclone this. It has a great effect in the graveyard. MST against this, no good. Contact and the Sanctified Dark Lord. We talked about how we could protect these with MST, which means MST against it is not good because you want them banished, you don't want them in the grave. So these are the downsides of where you would prefer to banish than to destroy. Now, honorable mentions are if they have a Dragoon Kaus, you want to Cosmic Cyclone it. Kaus in the graveyard can be reused. If you're playing against a Trimid deck, their field spells, when destroyed, are going to activate. You want to banish them. Canadia could resummon itself from the grave. Navigation could negate a back row from the grave. So it does seem like a lot of reasons why MST is potentially not good. The big benefit of Cosmic Cyclone also is you get to trigger your skills by losing 1,000 life. That could help you trigger Destiny Draw. It could help you trigger Cyberstyle by losing life so you could summon Proto Dragons. It could also get your life points down to 1,000, so you could use Utopia Ray to deal 4,000 damage and win. That happens. That happened in a recent tournament. That's crazy. The general benefits of MST are it's making anti-back row more accessible. It's another card similar to Cyclone and Lance. So if you don't have Lance and you don't have Cyclone, you can now have MST. If you had a dream ticket that you were about to use on Cosmic Cyclone, but you pulled an MST and you asked me, hey, Dkayed, should I use my dream ticket on a Cosmic Cyclone? I'll say, well, did you already just pull an MST? You're going to say yes. I'm going to say you don't need to use your dream ticket on the Cosmic Cyclone, because if you want to be maximum efficient with your gems and your mother's credit card, plus your self-mowing lawns, you're going to just be happy with MST, generally. You're not going to feel like you need it, the Cosmic Cyclone. So that's good. Just generally, they're kind of similar. Less pressure to own these cards. Now, MST is also going to have general benefits with Goodbye Balance, okay, and also Goodbye Spell Specialist. That card that also got nerfed, and there you go. That is the MST review. If we go back to all the answers and questions at the top, does it negate? Yes and no. Top tier impact, it should have an impact, maybe just a minimal. What decks become better? Well, Noble Knights could become better, Ancient Gears could be better, and also because of the ban list, Onslaught is coming back. Onslaught is big. And yes, this is unedited Onslaught. That's not relevant to why we're talking about this, but it will banish a monster you control if you battle against an Amazon. You need to take this out. Ideally, you Cosmic it, but if you're not playing Cosmic and you just have MST, this could be just as good for denying the banishment, because Amazons might go up in popularity as soon as the ban list goes live. And we talked about what the MST counters. MST versus Cosmic Cyclone, what do you think is better? You tell me. Let me know in the comments. What's better, Cosmic or MST? I gave you both, the best and worst of both. And I told you why you should care about MST, which you definitely should care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, fools!